Hello readers, today I am going to review a book called Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese word which means reason for living. So in this book, what the authors say that if you have Ikigai, a reason of living in your life, you are going to live for a longer time. So how do the authors use this? They illustrate examples. They have spoken to people, some of the longest living people on the earth, and they have taken their interviews asking them what is it that they practice to live for so long. So their interviews and their accounts and testimonials are written in this book, which the authors hope that by giving those tips and those ideas for us, we can help make our lives better and live for a longer time. While the book's name is Ikigai, but majority of the focus I feel is more on living longer rather than finding the reason of your living. They have given a lot of exercises, a lot of diet practices which can help people live longer. So I personally like this book. There are certain things which I liked about the book which I'm going to tell you. What I liked the most about this book is that it is very well researched. The authors have made it a point to research a lot about not just the people who have lived long, but also a lot about Japanese culture. So that is one of the things which I loved about this book. Second thing what I liked in this book is it is very simplistically written. It means that a lot of people can find these things to be relatable, and it has a lot of diagrams and it has simplified a lot of things. They have illustrated exercises which makes it a lot easier for the readers to understand. Now coming to the negative point, what I did not like about this book. Well, I find it's too short. I don't know if this is a subjective thing or if you guys felt it too, but I personally felt like the book was cut short too early. As in, you expect it to go on for a little longer. I mean, you expect the book to be a little bit bigger, but it feels way too short. But that is just my personal opinion. It could be different for you too. But for me, I felt that the book was pretty short. So I have rated this book according to something that I would like to call as the Gautami scale. So there are certain points to which I rate this book or most of my books, and they're going to follow certain criteria. So let me just put in my score for Ikigai. 1 second. Okay, so first point on which I would rate is called as novelty. It deals with how unique the idea of the book is. So this book scored 6 on 10 when it comes to novelty. Understanding. Second point is understanding. How easy or difficult this book is to understand. This scores 9 on 10, meaning it is easy to understand for a lot of people, for a majority audiences. Then third point is skill. Skill deals with authors' skills or writers' experience or how good of a job the writer has done in writing this book. Skill, I would say, rates 7 on 10 for this book. Then fourth point comes in emotion. Then how emotional this book is, what kind of emotion it evokes in me. So since this is a non-fiction book, it is not very emotional read. So I would rate this 5 on 10 because it makes you feel relaxed, and again, relaxed is an emotion. So I would rate it 5 on 10. And fifth and the last point is technical skill. Now what is technical score? So what is a technical score? Basically, is the book catered for generalized people, or is it just catered to, just for a certain fringe group, certain niche audiences? I would say Ikigai scores 3 on 10 because 0 being catered to the masses and 10 being catered to a specific audiences or being a very technical subject related book. Ikigai scores 3 on 10. See, it is not a book which is catered to a certain group of audiences. It is a book catered for everyone, yet it is my personal opinion that people who are a bit more mature in terms of age and even in terms of maturity would derive more benefit from this book rather than, let's just say, from a very young teenager. Because since this book deals a lot with longevity and living longer, these are the kind of books which someone who is in the middle of their life, let's just say, someone who is in their late 30s or in their 30s is going to relate more than, let's say, someone who is 15 or 16. Because I have yet to come across teenagers who actually want to focus on longevity. But again, if you are a teenager, if you are a mature audience, or if you're a mature reader, then by all means go ahead for this book. Personally, for me, I felt that this book would have benefited me had I read it a few years later. In my 20s, it might not be as beneficial as it would have been some, let's say, 3 to 4 years later, which I plan to read it again. So this is my review of Ikigai. Now, if you liked Ikigai, or if you want similar book recommendations related to Ikigai, so I'm going to tell you which books you can read which are similar to Ikigai. So if you have that book, Ikigai, you can just turn around, and in the end, the authors have written books which have inspired them to write this book. So that books you can read, you can definitely read those books. Those are some pretty good suggestions. Or this another book which I have been reading right now. I have not finished reading it, so I cannot say how the book is at this point, but all I can say is that from what I have read a bit about it, it is pretty similar to Ikigai. It is called the Book of Haigyo Yoga, which is Danish Secrets to a Happy Life. Ikigai derives inspiration from Japan and Japanese culture. Same way, Yoga, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, I'm sorry, I'll search it and let you know. If you know, you can let me know how that word is pronounced. So, Yoga is basically inspired by Denmark. So, again, that is a good book if you want to read. And I have posted the name and links and everything in the bio. More information if you want to read. If you read this book and if you liked it, please let me know. And if you want more book reviews, then you must definitely subscribe to my channel. And that was all for today. I'll be back with more reviews. Till then, bye bye.